how they create the yarn or the chemical formula of it or whatever. This is totally synthetic. It's made of nylon and I don't know what else. It's not a natural fiber, but that's part of why it works so well as a scrubby. Is it's very sturdy and it lasts forever. You can wash it in the washing machine. I wouldn't put it in the dryer. What I do is I just pop it in the dishwasher. I just kind of poke it on one of those things that sticks up so it doesn't get down in the inside, and it comes out clean as a whistle and smelling great again. Um, so I make these on a variety of different cylinders. You can actually make them on any cylinder at all. Um, Today I've got a 72 up here. What you're going to do is take out half the needles. Every other needle comes out. So you can see every other needle is out, and all I've done so far is I just cast on. You're going to want to put more waste yarn on than you think you need. And the reason for that is that the waste yarn, you can see it's knitted very loosely and it comes out very easily. And you don't want it to come out until you're ready for it to. If it's too short, sometimes you're going to end up with your stitches loose before you want them to be loose. Okay?
So what is your definition of more waste yarn than we think we need?
Okay, so
20 rows, 40 rows?
Yeah, 20 rows. And you're going to have a really long stitch length. Right now, I'm down, I think this is down about 10 rotations from the top. It's a really long stitch, okay? So the knitting is going to be really loose, and it's going to look like a really lot when you knit it. It's going to look like a lot more when the weight's holding it than you ordinarily would think of that you need for a sock. But just put like 20 rows on to be sure, okay? And yeah, just put 20 rows on and you'll be fine. All right, so I'll get started here. I like to start on the number 1 needle. Now, when you're hanging a hem, you want your waste yarn to knit with your project yarn on needle number 1. In this case, you don't want it to, okay? Because then it makes it too hard to do the picking up the stitches at the end. So I have my waste yarn end. This is on number 72. And I'm going to crank it around until, well, 72 is closed. And then I'm going to pull it out, and I don't want it to knit on needle number 1. So I'll put on my project yarn, this lovely passionate pink. Now, we're going to run this yarn through all of the stitches on both ends. So you're going to want to leave 12 to 15 inches to start with. Good long tail at the beginning and at the end. And then you're just going to start cranking. You're going to crank 30 rows. Now, I'm going slowly, and I do that with these because this is slippery yarn, and it jumps off the needles when you least expect it to. So I just go nice and slowly. It's only 30 rows, so if it takes a minute as opposed to 45 seconds, who cares? All right, that's 30. And then once again, I'm going to end my project yarn on needle number 72. Cut myself a nice long tail. I guess it's not needle number 72 because needle number 72 is gone. So it's needle number 71, but it's the first one there. And then do our waste yarn. make sure that knits on needle number 1. Oop, guess what? Jumped off. So we'll just pick those stitches up. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. And off we go. All right, so that's 50. I do a whole bunch of them in a row, and when I do them in a row, I like to put enough waste yarn so that, boy, I got waste yarn, so that I can pull it apart halfway. And the reason for that is when you look at this tube, and I'll pass it around, you can see that the fuzzy stuff is actually on the inside. It's something about the physics of the way that this yarn knits that puts the fuzzy stuff on the inside. So you have to kind of get at both ends when you're closing them up. So pass this tube around, and you can take a look. And this is one that I made earlier, and I already did one of the ends. I'll show you how to do the other end. You're going to do both of them the same way. So I did the first one inside out and folded this back because then I could see those purple stitches. But now I need to turn it inside out, so I've got the fuzzies on the outside. That makes it a little trickier to do the pickup, but you can do it. All right, so here we go. Did you all get one of these cool little, this is a Kitchener kit that I bought. Very cool. So you're going to get a tapestry needle and get it threaded up. And then we're just going to go around and we're going to pick up all of the loops. Now, it's really tempting to pick up these green ones. It's not the green ones. Can you guys see up there? It's not the green ones. It's the purple ones that you want to pick up. If you pick up the green ones, then you haven't done anything with the loose or the live stitches. So you want to pick up the top purple ones all the way around. And I'm just doing several of them at the same time. Got that one. Sometimes I catch that green one at the same time, but that one will pull out later.
So can you use just any kind of the scrubby fabric?
Scrubby yarn? You can use any kind of this nylon feeling stuff. Red Heart makes another kind that's not shiny, it's dull, and I have not used that, but I've heard that it doesn't work real well on the machines. But I haven't tried it.
It's loopy, I think.
It's not, no, it's not loopy. It just has stick out things. It's lumpy, and it's rougher. It's not as flexible.
It seems more cottony.
Yeah,
It doesn't run through the machine right.
it doesn't run through the machine right, is what I've heard. I have not tried it, but that's what I've heard.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
That's
'cause I
okay.
was looking at your other thing.
Never
Okay.
admit that.
It's okay.
What brand were you?
So Red Heart makes this kind,
Uh-huh.
this, but it makes another kind as well.
Okay.
And it's not shiny like this. It's not as flexible as this. And I have heard that it doesn't work in the machine. I have not tried it myself, but that's what I've heard. Coming around here to the beginning.
Just in the kitchen, or do you use them for?
You can use them anywhere you want. They are so some of the yarn is soft enough to use on your face. Some of the yarn is not quite so soft. I'm not sure I would. Maybe I would. Maybe on your heels. Yeah, exactly. This you could use on your face.
Oh.
It's very soft. Some of the yarns that you get from Amazon are soft like this. Others are just not. But they make good scrubbies, whether they're super soft like this or not.
I'm watching her on here because it's easier for me to see. I can't see the details.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. But I'm just picking up that top loop. All the way around. I'm almost there. These last ones are a little tight. So I'm having to kind of dig for them. Oops.
Do you do both ends from the same side facing you?
You know, you can very easily. I did the other one, the other end. I did it with the fuzzy stuff inside, and then I flipped it over for the for this side. Okay, I think that was the last one. Maybe there's one more there. All right. Okay, so that one's done. Now I'm just going to remove the waste yarn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I use fishing line, 80-pound test.
For what?
As like a separator?
Oh yeah, you can. You can absolutely do that. I do that with my socks. This
Yeah,
usually
that's what I
comes
do.
out more easily than it is coming out
I
now.
learned it here in the lab. 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
And I ran to the fishing store. I said, do you have 80-pound test? And he said, lady, do you know where you are? You're not near the ocean. So I couldn't get it here.
They have something that
Not 80 pounds.
they have something that works as the same way at Hobby Lobby.
Oh.
They actually have a
Oh.
nylon ripcord there
Oh,
that you can use. Yeah, this is not being friendly, of course, because
Yeah, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
all right, there we go.
You know, the blinds,
Yes.
the cords.
Okay. So then all you're going to do is gather it up and then just take a couple of stitches in the top. And that's what I've already done on the other side. It doesn't show, so you just do a couple of stitches to kind of lock it so it's not gonna open up that circle. Then you're gonna take the middle of that circle and the middle of this circle, and you're gonna put them together like that. If it's not exact, it's okay. The scrubby police won't come and arrest you.
I didn't even know there was scrubby police.
Well, there's sock police, so I figure there must be scrubby police. And then I just take a couple of stitches through both layers
Oh, yeah, oh, I thought you did.
to hold those together. And then I'm gonna just make a little knot here with both ends. I just do a square knot at the end.
Do you have a written pattern?
No, this
Okay.
is so easy. You don't need a pattern.
No, somebody just texted me and asked me if I could bring her a pattern.
Oh, you know, I saw that the Erlbacher
Yeah.
website has one.
Yeah, well, there's one on the CSM supplies. I
There could
think,
be
too,
one on
right?
CSM
I
Supply.
think. I know
Yeah.
I saw it somewhere.
Okay, then I just hide the end inside this. And I do the same thing for the other end. Yeah, and then you just poke this into that cavity between the two layers. Pull it out and flip it off. And it will just hide in there nicely.
Very nice.
And that's it. And then you just shape it. You
Mhm.
just pull it out and shape it. So this one I made on a 60. Okay, so it's a little smaller than this one, but they're both great. So that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, easy peasy. It's a really good beginner project.
Thank you. Do you rewind the balls on a cake or something, like when you get it in the skeins? They come in the skeins.
Yes, I absolutely
You
do.
just
This
rewind
has
it?
been rewound into a cake.
Okay, you just do it on a regular winder thing? Okay.
Yeah, it has to be one that doesn't, one side or the other doesn't cross over.
Right.
So